How does interpretation differ from translations? The translators studies written material in one language, the source language, and the produces it in rather from in another language, the target language. An interpreter listens to a spoken message in the source language and renders it orally, consecutively or simultaneously of the target language. Both the translation and the interpreter must have a strong mastery of the target language, as well as very good passive understanding of the source language or language with which they work. For most interpreters, the target language will be his or her native tongue. The translator relies mainly on thorough research with background materials and dictionaries in order to produce the most accurate and readable written translation possible. The interpreter relies mainly on the ability to get the gist of message across to the target audience on spot. No translation is ever perfect because culture and language different. However, in practice, the translation is usually held to a higher standard of accuracy and complement, while the interpreter is expected to convey the essence of the message immediately. The translator's activity is more like that of a writer, while the interpreter's performance is more like that of an actor. A good translator will spend much time searching for the correct technical term of the right causes of words, but a good interpreter must immediately come up with a satisfactory paraphrase or rogue equivalent if it just doesn't come to mind in order to keep the audience waiting. Some people are able to do both translation and interpretation, others find that for reasons of temperament and personality they cannot do one the other generally. Some experience as translation provides a good foundation for being an interpreter. Saya setuju dengan argumen di atas, karena dengan meningkatkan harga BBM akan membuat pemerintah mudah membayar hutang dan juga membayar pajak-pajak yang ada di Indonesia. Dan saya juga tidak setuju dengan argumen tersebut karena tidak banyak warga yang mampu membeli BBM dengan harga naik seperti itu. Banyak juga warga yang menjadi tukang ojek mendapatkan penghasilan yang kecil, apalagi harga BBM yang naik. I agree with the above argument because increasing fuel prices will make it easier for the government to pay off the national debt and also pay taxes. I don't agree with the above argument because not many residents can afford to pay full at such increased prices. Many residents will become motorcycle, taxi drive and earn a lot of income, especially since fuel prices have to increase it. Conserving biodiversity is more important than promoting industrial progress and creating jobs. And endangered species should be protected by law against industrial spread and pollution, even if jobs are lost in the process. The Global Biodiversity Assessment, based on the work of 5,000 scientific experts from around the world, shows that almost 3 times more species become extinct from 118 to the present than between 1,600 and 1,060. But protecting endangered species can hinder economic growth. And 1995, Harris poll 107 audits showed and 42 believe the government has struck the right balance between protecting the environment and protecting jobs. Once a species is lost for good. The wine didn't fall, but why am I the one who is blamed for other people's mistakes? But we are the ones who suffer the consequences. Sarcasm. Every leader is not perfect. There are always flaws, but without reduce our fear of those who live contributed to this country, like the saying goes that everything or things must have flaws or weaknesses as well as with humans. Idiom example in English: break a leg, meaning good luck. Bite the bullet, meaning to face something difficult or unpleasant. Idiom examples in Indonesian: melamun, its meaning daydreaming. Jatuh dari langit, its meaning unexpectedly or good luck. Smiley example in English: as strong as an ox, as quiet as a mouse. Smiley example in Indonesia: secepat kilat is meaning very fast like lightning. Sekejam pedang it's meaning very sharp like a sword parody. Example in English: Weird Al Yankovic song parodies of popular songs. The Union's satirical articles parody. Example in Indonesian: parodies popular Indonesian songs and TV shows. Paranomasia example in English: time flies like an arrow, freight flies like a banana. I'm reading a book on anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Paranomasia example in Indonesia: seperti monyet teriak-teriak tidak jelas, meaning like a monkey screaming without any clear purpose. Kami tidak bisa mengajari kucing membaca, tapi kamu bisa mengajari kucing memakan koran. Meaning like you can teach a cat to read, but you can teach a cat to eat a newspaper. Parsia example in English: I'm not afraid to speak my mind even if it means telling you go to hell. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. Parsia example Indonesian: saya tidak takut mengatakan apa yang saya pikirkan meskipun itu berarti mengatakan kepada Anda untuk pergi ke neraka. Saya memberitahu Anda kebenaran apapun yang terjadi. Euphemism example in English: pass away instead of die, restaurant instead of toilet. Euphemism example in Indonesia: meninggal instead of mati, ruang kebugaran instead of gym. Hyperbole example in English: I've told you a million times, meaning a lot of times. I'm so hungry. I could eat a horse, meaning very hungry. Hyperbole example Indonesia: saya sudah bilang kepadamu ribuan kali, meaning a lot of times. Saya lapar sekali, saya bisa makan seekor kuda, meaning very hungry.